Alright, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to pick up with some probability and statistics, and we're going to be trying to calculate the arithmetic mean, geometric mean, median, mode of the following data set. So we're in this data set here and we have a set of numbers, and we want to go ahead and find each of those. So the first thing that you'll want to do is count how many numbers is in the data set. That's the first thing that we need to do, and the number in the data set will be represented by lowercase n. So let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the number of elements, I guess you could call it, in the data set is 11. So why don't we start out with the arithmetic mean. Alright, so what's the arithmetic mean? Well, all we have to do to get the arithmetic mean is we have to add up all these numbers and then divide by however many numbers it's in the data set, which is 11. That's why we needed to identify what n was. So in this case, we need 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 10 plus 13 plus 1 plus 6 plus 17 plus 28 plus 22 and then plus 10. I want to remind you, however, to take your time, much like I said yesterday when we were doing, when we were trying to find the value of a summation. It's a relatively easy procedure to do this, but as you can see, you got a bunch of numbers, and if you're not careful, you can easily get the answer wrong. So please take your time. This is something that's very easy, but it is not uncommon for students to get it wrong. Not that they're, don't know what to do, it's just they're going too fast. And so in this particular circumstance, I'm going to get a calculator and I'm going to make sure I do everything right. So this we got 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 10 plus 13 plus 1. I'm just plugging in my calculator, plus 6 plus 17 plus 28 plus 22 and plus 10. And I get 119. So that'll be 119, and we'll need to divide that by n, which is the number of elements in the data set. So plug that in the calculator, we get 119 divided by 11. I'll take 2 spots after the decimal. This will give me 10.81. So the arithmetic mean here, we can just say is 10.81. Let's move on to the geometric mean. So for the geometric mean, what we do is we multiply all of these numbers, which is why you need a calculator for an activity like this, especially if you're given a bunch of numbers and they're relatively large. And then we'll take the nth root, or in our particular case, the 11th root of the product that we get when we multiply those numbers. That's how we get our geometric mean. So again, that's 5 times 4 times 3 times 10 times 13 times 1 times 6 times 17 times 28 times 22 times 10. Please use a calculator. Don't try to do it in your head because these numbers are going to get big. So it's going to be 5 times 4 times, 5 times 4 times 3 times 10 times 13 times 1 times 6 times 17 times 28 times 22 times 10. And as you can see, we get a pretty large number here, which is not uncommon, especially if our elements are big in terms of value, which they are. So what we'll do is we'll take the 11th root of the product of all those numbers. So it looks like we got 49008960000. So it's a large number. And let's take the 11th root of that. If you don't know how to get to taking the 11th root, again, I don't know how other calculators work. I only have a TI-84 plus. But if you don't know how to get there, you just go over to this math section. And it's pretty obvious. You just go right down here to number 4, click on it, Now it'd have a 3 there, but you can replace it with an N, or replace it with 11. So we'll delete it, put an 11 there, and plug the number in. So we get 4900896000. We get 7.60. Again, I'm just going to take 2 spots after the decimal. So we get 7.60. So that would be the geometric mean. So relatively straightforward, but students mess up on it all the time by going too fast, so take your time. The next thing we need is the median and then the mode. So what's the median? Okay, so what you have to remember about the median, you guys probably remember this from pre-algebra, maybe in middle school. Remember that to find the median of the data set, remember there are 2 things that we need to be looking for. If n is even, which it obviously isn't, we have 11 values in this data set. So I guess it doesn't matter in this particular circumstance, but I'll just mention it. If n is even, then we know that the median is just going to be the arithmetic mean of the 2 middle elements. In this particular case, we don't have to worry about that because 11 is odd. Now, if in that particular circumstance, if we have an odd value in, well, it's just going to end up being the middle value. So in this particular circumstance, it's going to be 10. But what we want to do is we want to line these numbers up in ascending order. Now, I could easily see when I do this, if we line them up in ascending order, that 10 will be the middle element. So let's see. We got 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. We got 2 10s here. What else do we got? We got a 13, we got a 17, we got a 22, and we got a 28. In this particular circumstance, it's going to be 10. Okay, so that's the median. It's the middle element in the data set. Okay, and our last one is the mode. Finish this up. All right, so we need the mode. Okay, so for the mode, keep in mind the mode is just the term in the data set that occurs the most. If we look at our data set, we just have to look at what number occurs the most, which is obviously 10. So that would end up being our mode. So 10 is the mode. Okay, so that's going to be our final answer for each piece. So our final answer here, when we were looking for the arithmetic mean, the geometric mean. So the arithmetic mean, that was 10.81. The geometric mean, if you remember, that was 7.60. Our median was just the middle element, and that was 10, and the mode is also 10. So that's going to be everything we need. All right, so some relatively straightforward stuff, but it's easy to make a mistake if you're not taking time. So just take your time on it, and if you do that, you should be all right. I'll see y'all next time.